Jill here, Special Needs Mom Talks. I'm going to do a little more raw video today about the follow-up from yesterday's chat about human rights and when your offspring with special needs is sick, quote unquote, and you're not really sure that they are, if they're just, faking it, what's really going on with the energetics behind it, and whether they're full of crap or not, and you don't want to call them on it because they're supposed to be navigating to adulthood and figuring things out for themselves, but sometimes they play you. And yeah, but it's all a learning experience. So what happened was I got texts in the middle of the night about illness, sickness. I'm like, fine, that's great. Let him sleep. So gets up the next morning and we're getting more texts, and that's how sometimes he likes to communicate when there's, some hot, heated emotions, and it works for both of us. Sometimes text is better. He can do talk to text if he's not able to, type the words as clearly as, as he'd like to. He can use talk to text, great tool. Anyway, and it can be a, scary tool. So he texts me that he's up and still not feeling great. So we talked through, like, what's it going to feel like for you to walk out of the house and sit on the bus and take the bus to school and go through the day? Do you think you can handle it? Do you think you're that sick that you need to lay in bed and for the rest of the day and recover it? Because if that's the case, you need to decide and stay home. So we do talk about this a little bit, and he makes the decision to go. He goes out the door. He shoots my partner, who's standing outside, a look as he's going out the door and gets on the bus. And the next thing I get is some really nasty texts. I think he realized that he actually made the decision to go to school and he was going to have to live with his decision, and was not too happy about that. And how many of us react like that when we realize we freaking got to do it anyways, even though it's not our highest, what we feel like is our highest timeline in that moment. So getting like these texts and I really take it all with a grain of salt, because I know that, I give a lot of space for these angry things, because it's part of the process of him learning to regulate himself. And he did a beautiful job. He did not emote at school, or he did not lash out in any way. It was a communication back and forth between he and I. I said he could go to the nurse if he was sick. I believe he shot my partner some nasty texts, but that's okay. We rolled with it. And pretty soon after that, we get the apology. And it's always a beautiful reckoning for everyone, even though these are challenging situations. It might sound minor, and this is one of the minor challenges overall in the big picture. It's not a life and death situation. It's a lot of nuances around this. That is why I'm talking about it. And the human rights piece, where I'm kind of pushing him to do something at age 21 that he may or may not really want to, there might be more going on than meets the eye, but heck, it's time to do these things. So, navigating these things, I ain't going to do it perfectly, doing the best I can. I'm sure you all are as well, as are your offspring. And I'm just choosing to learn. And each time the reaction time is less, and the whole process, it's like an up leveling, even though there's always a new challenge, and that's life, right? So that's all I got for today. Keep going, and I love y'all.